New details have come out in regards to why Marvel Studios decided to scrap their second film from 2027, which all evidence points to being Doctor Strange 3. And the apparent reason is that after they got destroyed by DC Studios in 2025, Marvel can't compete in 2027, so you might as well just throw in the towel. Okay, so in case you missed it, and maybe you did because so much Marvel news happens, it wasn't too long ago that Marvel officially removed their second film from 2027, which was scheduled to release around 2 weeks after Man of Tomorrow. Now, this would have been the same scenario that we saw with Superman and Fantastic Four. And Marvel and Disney gave no specific reason in regards to why this film was scrapped. Now, some insiders have said that it's due to production timing, but that doesn't make sense to me. Spider-Man started shooting almost exactly 11 months before release, and that's happening. Other Marvel films have a production time of 10 to 14 months. You're lucky if you get more than that. So canceling a film that would have started production by June or July to release the following year is exactly what Marvel does and has since the beginning. So again, things don't line up here. But now there are new reports that the film that they intended was Doctor Strange 3, and there's plenty of clues to support it. But they did pull the film because they believe that Man of Tomorrow is going to stomp them into the ground. So 2025 was obviously a very important year for Marvel. They put out 3 films in the first half of the year, starting the year off with the 4th entry for Captain America with Captain America Brave New World. The film barely eked by with a profit, so at least that happened, but still the film is in the $400 million range, which isn't anything great, but at the same time, the reviews were not really kind to it. The film sits between fans and critics around a 6.5, which again isn't great, but it's not awful. Then you add Thunderbolts, which again got praised and super high reviews from critics and fans, sitting right around a 9, but it bombed at the box office. It didn't get even close to 400 million, and the budget was the same as Captain America, same with the marketing, so that was a big L. And then we enter Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four First Steps releases 3 weeks after Superman and 4 weeks after Jurassic World. It's pretty crystal clear that the film was impacted by other big blockbusters, as anybody with a brain could have told you that that was going to happen. At the same time, they were airing Marvel's Daredevil Born Again, which ended up bombing with views and critics and fans. And then at the same time, DC Studios puts out Peacemaker a couple months later, and that wins over fans and critics. So Marvel was apparently on their back. They're afraid of DC. And as I said before, I made a video on this. 2025 is the year that DC destroyed Marvel. That's just a fact, guys. You don't have to be a fanboy, or maybe you do, to admit this, but just looking at it with the optics of a fan, you have to admit that Marvel has had a far worse year than DC. And now we're looking at why exactly they would pull this film, and the only thing that makes sense per reports is that they got cold feet. They can't put out a film, which we all believe, and it definitely seems like, and there's evidence, that the film was Doctor Strange 3. because there's no way that Doctor Strange is going to make more than Superman. Except the reports are wrong because Doctor Strange has made more than Superman. So the scoopers are idiots. That's how I'm going to start this section of the video because they don't know what they're talking about. The first Doctor Strange film, the one from 2016, made a global total of $677.7 million. That's literally 60 million more than Superman in 2025. Now, if we adjust for inflation, which you guys know I hate, so we're not going to do that because that's what mental gymnastics morons do, but it could be significant. Either way, though, I don't know why people are somehow dead set on Doctor Strange 2 being a failure because Multiverse of Madness was anything but. That film made $955.8 million. It almost made $1 billion. So in the 2010s, Doctor Strange, a relatively unknown character, made more than Superman. And in the 2020s, Doctor Strange made more than Superman. So why would Marvel be afraid if they were making a Doctor Strange 3 that was clearly going to be a multiverse film with a bunch of cameos and supporting roles? Deadpool and Wolverine made $1.3 billion just off of that. All of these reports that Marvel got cold feet and that they're afraid, and the reason they pulled this film is because they're afraid of Man of Tomorrow, absolutely 100% holds no water. Absolutely none. There's nothing to this. You would actually have to be a complete idiot to believe this. And again, remember, this year, DC destroyed Marvel. They just flat out had a better year. Born Again is my favorite Marvel TV series. Peacemaker is better. I'm sorry to tell you that. No, I'm not shilling. I'm just telling you the facts in regards to quality, writing, and the end result. So why would Marvel be afraid of Man of Tomorrow when, as a matter of fact, Man of Tomorrow should be afraid of Marvel and Doctor Strange? Because the numbers are there, especially if Doctor Strange, as rumors suggested, was going to be essentially Avengers 0.5 in between the two Avengers films. The reality of it is, Marvel doesn't want to market another film between two Avengers films, and they want to make both an event. And that is a fact. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.